Colors. I'm Colors. Today we're going to be making Pumpkinhead, our Halloween witch. She's our first project for this fall. And we'll be making a lot of Halloween projects as well as fall projects. So we're going to make Pumpkinhead today, and she'll be real easy to make and real fun. So we'll see you in a minute. We'll tell you about the supplies we're going to use. So the first thing we're going to use to make Pumpkinhead are these split balls. They're 2-inch balls and they're split in half. You order them that way on Amazon. I got 6 in a package on mine, and we need those for the eyes. And then we're going to be using this pumpkin pillow from Dollar Tree. It was $6 in the advanced Dollar Tree section, and we're going to be using that pillow. We're going to be using these ribbons that I thought were great from Michaels. Saw these in Michaels and I thought, wonderful witch hair. So you want to get in there and get these, because I think they will sell out fast on these. A lot of ribbons in there. And then you're going to need an oak leaf for her hat. Just something like that for her hat. Little pumpkin to hang off the hat. Some polyester fiberfill. You don't need the haunted tree. You need some marbles, flat marbles. You're going to need some cactus green paint. This is Tesser's Craft paint from Rust-Oleum, but you see what color that is? Cactus green for her nose. And then we're going to need orange. This is all acrylic paints. We're going to need green and yellow. Mine are all paints by Tesser's Craft paints by Rust-Oleum. And then we're going to use some paint brushes, black Sharpie marker, stir stick. We're going to need some fray block. If you want to block the ribbons from fraying, like this one is, you can use some of this fray block that I got at Joann's, and I'm sure that you can find it many places. And also we're going to be using these black velvet fabrics from Dollar Tree, and they're 21 by 18 black velvet fabrics. We need 2 of those, and that's all we're going to be using. So stay tuned and we'll be back to get started. So the first thing we want to do is take the pumpkin that we got at Dollar Tree. We'll clip off the tags. Like that. And then on the bottom there's a seam running across here in the middle there, and we need to open that up. So take your scissors and just clip that like that, and I just went down the stitches there with my scissors. Get a little bit more on this side. There we go. So you got to open about that far, and what we're going to do is add some more stuffing so that she'll stand up. It's not going to take a lot. That should be good. And then we want to add some weight in here. So we're going to put some marbles in there. Some flat marbles. I'm kind of pushing those to the end. Now what we want to do is just take our glue gun, and by the way, this is a Gorilla glue gun that I usually get at Walmart, and it has a high temperature and a low temperature setting on it. I always work in the low temperature setting. That helps a lot doing these projects. I've heard people say, you know, how hot the glue is, and they can't possibly do it like this. It's because you need a low temperature. Low temperature will still burn you, believe me, but it's a lot better to work with the low temperature. So these are like $7-8 at Walmart. It'd be well worth you picking one up. So then we want to just put our glue back on the seam here, and maybe give that a minute and pull those together. We're going to glue the seam right back together again. I'll let that set up and I'll do the other side and I'll be right back. So that's all set up, and this is how he stands up now. And the next thing you do is just go ahead and cut off the stem. We're going to use the stem for the nose. So we're going to cut it off very carefully. Like that. And set that aside for the nose. And the next thing I want to do is go ahead and put on the hair. So just take that. I was very happy to see them have these this year, because how many things could a crafter do with all these different ribbons to have? And if you use a coupon, we used a coupon and we got them for $7.50. That's a lot of different material for us for $7.50. So you just want to take it and glue it right on top of where you cut the stem. Just like that. I'll hold that down and let it set up, and when we come back, we're going to make the hat. So for the hat, you take out the two pieces that we got from Dollar Tree, the velvet fabric. And you just want to open them up. And they're 18 by 21. We want the shorter side up. And we're going to turn them so that the velvet is on the inside. So it should look like that on your table. And I'll get the other one. turning them so the velvet is facing the inside, like that. And I'm just going to fold them in half at the top, like that. Fold it half and just clip it a little bit so I can get the center. My scissors have glue on them. I just want to get the center here. So then, what you want to do is take and cut. I came over a little bit on each side, maybe 2 inches on each side of this to get it to be the right size to go on that pumpkin head. So come over about 2 inches and then just cut towards that mark I made up here at the top. Like that. And then we'll do the other side. Go over about 2 inches. Like that. And this is extra big pieces, so probably save those. And then what you want to do is we want to glue this together. It's a pretty big hat to glue together, so we'll probably take it in little sections. Pull that back like that. And just want to maybe do 6-inch sections at a time. Go all the way around your hat. Like that. And just lay it on there. And just kind of tap it down. It's hot glue in this thin, real thin little fabric here. So we're going to do that. And I'm going to continue on all the way around until I get to the bottom, and then I'll be right back with you. So I've got the hat all glued on the 2 sides, and I have a little bit of extra fabric down here. I want to cut that off. It's just on the one side, so we want to make it even. So I'm going to cut that across. There we go. And then we'll turn the hat right side out. Push that little top out a little bit. And then we're going to put some polyester fiberfill in there. And like I've said before, if this is the only project that you think you're going to make and you don't have the polyester fiberfill, just go to Walmart and buy yourself a $3.50 standard size pillow. And you'll have plenty of polyester fiberfill inside the pillow for your project. I want to put this hat on first. So we make sure to get the face all in the right spot. So right here, we got it over here. So what I'm going to do is make sure my stuffing is all in there. And get it on like that. And you want to glue the seam part of the hat to the seam of the pumpkin right here. Just go right down and glue it to the seam. And that's how we're going to get started gluing this. And then we'll come to the front and we'll glue here and we'll glue to the back. We might glue in about 6 spots on this one. So I'm going to put it right here. Find my seam here. Put it on the, there we go, this seam. This is the back seam. And then just lay it on there and let that set up a little bit so you have some stability. And then come across and do the back. We're going to glue the back seam on these. I'll do this seam and then I'll come over and do this seam and then I'll be back with you. So I'm working on the front here. I want to make sure that my ribbons are all off to the side here, her hair. So I've made sure they're all off to the side. And I want to have a few coming down here in front because that's where her bangs are going to be. If you can see on this one, she's got bangs. I cut some of them right there above the eyes. There's only about four pieces that I cut for bangs. So we'll just make sure we have 4 pieces in there. Like that. And then I need a space so I can get the glue here. So that's the middle of the front. Let me let that set up. I'll be right back. Now I'm over on the side here, not where the seam is, but up farther about 4 inches. And this is the middle here. So I came over here because I want to put a little bit more glue right here. And I'm going to do that over here too. And then I'll be right back with you. So I'm on the back now, in the middle, and I'm going to go ahead and glue this middle down. And then while that sets up, I'm going to figure out right where I'm going to put these 2 spots here of glue. So I'll be right back with you and I'll have the back all finished. So I've got it all glued on around the bottom. And then I took a couple of places and I tucked it. I'm going to glue it so it has a little shape. Glue it right there. And then again, I'm going to do the same thing right here. So I'll be right back with you. So I've got the hat finished this far. We need to put a little hanging pumpkin here on the tip of the hat. And how you do that is you want to just cut. This is eventually going to be cut pretty short for the bangs. But I want to cut a little bit of it at the bottom. A little straighter than that. To put the pumpkin on. It's neat because you can just get some of these trim pieces right off the hair. There's so many ribbons on there. So we want to take and put some glue on the bottom of the pumpkin. I used an orange pumpkin on the other one. This is the color, I had this color, so I thought we'd use this. Give that a minute. And then we're just gonna glue it right here to the tip of the hat. It's pretty easy. Give some more detail. And I'll be right back with you, and we'll do the leaves over here. So the next thing we're gonna do is put the oak leaf on. Go ahead and put that right on our hat. So we wanna cut a little hole in here, like that. And you want to pump some glue into the hole. Don't try to put it on the leaf stem because it'll make a big mess when you put it in. So you put that into the hole like that, and then stick that stem into the glue. Like that. And while that's setting up, you want to come down here to where all these wonderful ribbons are and pick out this ribbon here, because we're going to take it and steal it and make a bow for her hat. We want to go right under the hat to get it. There we go. Sure that's good, doing good. And just take the little piece that you got and make a ribbon the best as you can. Probably a lot better than me. Wrap that around. Making a little bow, that's what I should be saying. There. Oh, we just want to cut those off to the same length, like that. And we'll glue that right there. And I'll be right back and we'll start on the face. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take about 4 or 5 strands here. And I want to cut the bangs about maybe 2.5 inches. We can always shorten them a little later. And you can see these seams coming down, the darker seams coming down. That's only on this side of the pumpkin, by the way. So when you're originally doing your pumpkin, you want to make sure those dark seams are on the front of this pumpkin. And so I've got these cut. This piece here I'm going to use actually in the face, this dark piece. And is what I want to do now is to cut, or to paint the eyes. Get the eyes ready. I want to glue them on a stir stick. That's my little Pomeranian up having a fit upstairs. Okay, we've got these glued on, and what we're gonna do is take this neon green color paint. In testers, they call it cactus paint, and we're going to put a good coat of paint on here, maybe 2 coats of paint, and I'll be right back with you. So the next thing we want to do, we've got the eyes painted. We're letting them dry a little bit more, and we pull out that stem piece that I had you cut off way back in the beginning of this video, and we're going to use that for the nose. So we just have to glue it on there it's about 3/4 of an inch below where the bangs are. We're going to glue that, and I wanted it to be a little bit more pointy, so I put it in like that. If you can see what I'm doing, I put it in like that, and I put some glue in it. And I just press that down in there like that. We'll let that set up. So I got the nose on. The next thing we want to do is take our stir stick and pop our eyes off that we painted. Like that. The eyes are dry, the stir stick might not be. There we go. Just pop those off, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I'm ready to put the eyes on. Put some glue on the back of them. These are the 1/2 inch, not 1/2 inch, 2-inch half wood balls that you can buy on Amazon. We're going to put them on like that. Next to the nose, I'm leaving a little gap in between the nose and the eye. The nose and the eye. I'm right. Okay. We're going to put the other one right here. Okay, I'll let them sit up. Now the next thing I want to do is put her upper eyelashes on, which we go in the ribbon, all this wonderful ribbon, and we find this piece right here that's perfect. So we cut it up underneath the hat so it doesn't show like it was cut. And we have this wonderful piece without having to go out and buy a separate package of these. So you just want to glue it like that to make the eyelid space. About like that. On both sides, we're going to glue a piece like this. Let me hold that. We're going to glue a piece like this on both sides to make the eyelid that we're going to paint orange. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back with you. Okay? The next thing I'm going to do is put the under lashes underneath the eye, and you want to cut another piece of the ribbon. This one here is what we're going to use for the under eyes. So you want to pay attention when you're in Michael's and you're buying the ribbons, because they come in different colors. I don't know if there's a name for the color, but you want to make sure that you have a, I guess if you paid attention to the different pieces that we're using for the eyes and the eyelashes and stuff, you can make sure they have those pieces in it when you buy that. It's got a lot of orange in it. If you're looking at the ones that are on display there, the one with all the oranges in it is the one I bought. So I'm going to put these underneath like this, and glue them in place, and I'll be right back with you. So the next thing I'm going to do is take some orange acrylic paint, and I'm going to go ahead and paint in, get these ribbons out of the way here, paint in the eyelids. So it's going to take you a few minutes to go in and out of the rickrack and paint the eyelids orange. So I'll do mine and I'll be right back with you. So I've got that all set. The lids are all orange now. The next thing we need to do is go ahead and put the eyes on. And so I'm just going to take a black Sharpie marker and do the best I can here. I had a feeling that other one was a little bigger. So then I'll just fill them in and be right back with you. So the next thing I'm going to do is put the glue on for the wart on the nose. And I'm just going to try to pile on a little bit of glue on there. Try to get the string out of that. I'm going to let that set up, and then I'm going to paint it with this green, just a regular green color. And I'll be right back with you. Okay, so we have the wart set up pretty nicely. It turned out really good. We got to paint it still. But I'm decided to go ahead and go down and get the teeth on. The teeth are actually hot glue. They don't look like it, but they're hot glue. And then I painted them. So I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I'm just going to take and make a shape of a tooth. And then fill that in. Like that. Try not to get the string in it. And then I did 3 of them right below the nose. Well, it's about 1.5 inches or so below the nose. 3 teeth. You know they don't have to be perfect because it's a witch. So I've got the 3 top teeth, and then I went along and put 5 bottom teeth. Like that. And I'll let those set up, and then we'll paint the nose, wart, and the teeth, and then put the surrounding mouth shape on, and we'll be finished. So I've got the wart painted green, and I'm getting ready to paint the teeth yellow. So we just want to come down here and just paint that hot glue that's hardened. All the way across. So they look like this. As you can see, these teeth. That's what we're aiming for. So I'll do these teeth and I'll be right back with you. So now I'm going to put the mouth on, and I got these pieces of trim right out of the hair. It's going to look like this, hopefully. Goes around the mouth like that. And how I did that was I put my little bit of glue on here, right about where I wanted it to be. And then I just laid this in place. And I kept doing that all the way around. And I did 2 times around here, and then I had an extra piece. I put it in here. So that's how we got the thickness there. So see, I've got that top like that. And I'm just gonna keep bringing it around. And you can shape your mouth any way you want to. I'll keep bringing that around and bring that up and see where we land. Be right back with you. So here we are, all finished. Here's our pumpkin witches. We had a really good time today, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. If you like this video, make sure to like. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe. We're all finished now. Here are our pumpkin witches. They turned out pretty good, and we had a good time doing it, and we hope you enjoyed yourself watching it. If you like this, like the video, make sure to like, and if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe.